Every pro wrestler I ever talked to as a marketer says the exact same thing. It's usually, I suck at social media, or I have no idea what to post, or I don't know what to put on my TikTok, and I'm not really sure if I should even have a YouTube channel. And I always end up saying the same thing. You don't suck. You just have to get started. Or if you have started and you still think you suck, you just don't have a plan. Listen, your content doesn't have to be hard. You just need to have a plan. Hey HOC fam, Renee here, coming in hot today to talk about content for pro wrestlers. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Renee. I am fondly known as the HOC mom or the marketing coach here at the HOC. Also co-founder with that dude, Jamie Stanley. So one of the big things we teach and offer at the HOC is marketing. I have been a marketer for about 10 years. I've worked at a well-known CPG doing marketing, brand marketing for the last 6 years. Marketing is my life. It's my passion, along with really loving pro wrestling. So this is a good combo where we've ended up opening the HOC. So we do marketing classes at the HOC once a month, and also on Champions Court once a month with a lot of really cool marketing materials as well. So today, specifically though, we want to talk about content and why it's important. And I can't tell you the amount of times these guys and gals walk into the HOC and we start talking about their social media or we start talking about content and I hear, Renee, I suck at social media. Or I have no idea what to post. Or I was on a really good streak for a while and I was doing great, but now I haven't posted in forever and I don't know where to start back up. And this is a really common story that I hear. And I would say it all comes down to one problem, and that was a lack of a good foundation in your content strategy and knowing exactly what you want to say as a brand. I mean, I've been there. Everybody's probably been there, right? Social media is a part of everyday life. Everybody has an Instagram for the most part. If you don't have that, you're going to have one of the other major platforms. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, it's very accessible. Everybody has it. But the problem with that is everybody thinks they could do it and do it well. Everybody can do it, but doing it well takes a little bit of training and a little of education. People do go to school for this, and people do get trained specifically on social media. So it makes sense why you might run into a rut, or you might not know why you've hit that plateau on your social media and things aren't growing, or you have no idea what to say. That's where I'm here to help our students and to help y'all to figure out, how do I create a framework and a good foundation and really guardrails to help me stay within my lane as I'm creating content on my social media. It's really important as a wrestler, don't have to be a wrestler, but specifically for wrestlers, to define your brand and start to establish your brand online. And any brand that does well has their lane, right? Like, you won't find Starbucks talking about athletic shoes. Like, it's just not what they do. So it would make sense if you're a pro wrestler and you're all over the place talking about anything and everything, that you might not connect with the people that you're wanting to connect to. There's a reason that you shouldn't be everything to everyone. You should be something very specific to a certain group of people. If you listen to one of my past podcasts about niche marketing, where we talk about why it is important to pick a niche and to lean into it, it's because you can create that authentic following and that connection with the people that do connect with your content. So anyway, pulling it back into content here, we need to set a foundation to keep you in that lane, so when you get to the point of, I don't know what to post today, you can refer back to it and say, oh, these were my pillars. This is what I'm set out to say. This is my brand. This will guide me into a tactic to post. So we're going to put some stuff up on the screen here, but just a little vocabulary lesson, right? Like, what is a content strategy exactly? A content strategy this is a very proper definition. I will give you a more simpler definition that I like after, but it's the ongoing practice of planning for the creation, delivery, and governance of useful, usable, and effective content about a particular topic or set of topics. What does that mean? That's a real, like, pretty long, fancy definition, but it just means you have a plan for creating and posting your content that is on brand, simply put. So, a lot of people often confuse their content strategy with like their content related tactics. So, a tactic would be like your captions, right? Or like your copywriting, your editing, the type of video you're gonna make, your infographics, or like what you're actually gonna post. Like that is a tactic. Content strategy comes before tactics, and most people go straight to tactics. Understandable, right? Like they're excited, they want to get posting. They have all this energy. You know, when they first start wrestling, they're going to start documenting their training. Or when they get a new character, they have all this amazing stuff to talk about their character. That's very one-dimensional, first off, but also it just doesn't give you much breath when it comes to those moments of, oh boy, I've kind of run out of things to say. So our tactics there, our plan, our strategy clarifies and it connects our tactics, what you actually post, into a meaningful purpose, right? So if Keiko and Nick were sitting here, they would say all day long, anything you do in this ring should have a meaning behind it. And what is your why? Like every move you do should have a reason. And I say the same thing to my students when it comes to posting. If they come to me and they're like, I want to post this, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, I say, why? And if it's because, well, I just feel like I should, it's not a good enough answer for HOC Mom. It needs to be authentic, and it should be a reason that falls within their strategy of why they want to create a video of whatever it is they brought to me. So I know right now, we're kind of talking in the clouds, right? And like a strategy talk can feel that way. Listen to me, I work in corporate marketing. We talk in the clouds all day long. So it's a skill. But I do want to bring it in tactically and visually for you so you can understand what I'm talking about. So this right here is a content template. This is what I give all of our students to start building out what their strategy will look like. So this top row, right, these are your strategy pillars. Also, again, disclaimer, I work in corporate marketing, so big fan of 3-pillar strategies. You're just gonna see it all the time. It's a very common thing. I would recommend we do pick 3 strategies. The to-dos is what you see here on the screen. Those are your strategies. It'll help you give more breadth to your strategy. If you can only pick 2 in the beginning, that's okay. Don't stress out. Like, I've had a few people say, oh, I can only think of 2 things that I really want to like go out and do and say. It's all right. I promise you, soon you're going to have so many that you want to say, you're going to have to like narrow it down. But anyway, so these top ones are your strategy. The bottom ones are your tactical topics. This is where most people start. They're like, oh, I want to make a video about how much I love, doing, I can't even come up with a wrestling move, so I'm just going to say a food, hot chicken. Like Nick would be so upset with me right now. He's like, why couldn't you say one wrestling move? Because I didn't want to embarrass myself in front of all the wrestling fans, okay? So I just really want to like make this video series about this chicken place that I love. You're like, okay, that's cool. But like that's a very tactical execution. What is the overarching strategy behind that? So an example of where maybe that would fall under is, hey, outside the ring, I'm a foodie. Like I love food. I love traveling like the area. I love traveling the world and trying out new foods. And I want to share that experience with the people that follow me. That is a strategy. Like that is a lane that I'm going to pick. And then your tactical execution under that is, I'm going to make a video about all the hot chicken places in Orlando, or I'm going to make a video about traveling to finding the best whatever in every city in the US. These are your executions that come underneath. Like I said, most people start there. And that's okay. You can probably grow a pretty good following from there. I bet you a lot of people do. I bet you a lot of influencers that have a ton of followers may not have a strategy. I'm not saying that won't work. I'm just saying this is going to help you in those times when you're like, I don't know what to say, or I've reached a point where like I'm struggling to find things to do. So, to add even more color to this, here is another example of this strategy come to life. You may know this wrestler. I know him well. He's my favorite pro wrestler, the love of my life, Mr. Jamie Stanley. So, this is his content strategy. One thing about content strategies, too, right? Strategies are something you put in place and they don't change very often. They change, trust me. Like, if something major happens in your life, or like there's this, maybe like when you become a mom or a dad, like your strategy may change because now all of a sudden you have something that's new in your life that has purpose. Then it's a time to reassess. Maybe we work that into one of the pillars. But for the most part, you want your strategies to stay pretty standard across the years. Now, what's going to change constantly are your executions. These are where you're going to come up with different tactics and different videos and posts to try out and experiment within the strategy. So if we look at Jamie's right now, none of this will come as a surprise to any of you if you follow Jamie at the Jamie Stanley. If you don't, please go follow him. The first one being, we want to entertain through his passions, and he has some unique passions. If you follow him, you're gonna see this fall within his Instagram. But underneath that, what does the tactical execution look like? The man loves cereal and food and wrestling. So the actual videos that we do will fall within those tactics. The second one is inspire through his journey. He used to be a overweight elementary student who has obviously taken his fitness journey to another level. So that is a journey he can talk about. Another thing is, so that's his transformation. Another thing is the leap of faith we took as a family to move down to Florida and chase this wrestling dream. So that is a journey in itself. And then his third pillar is his faith is super important to him and to us. So he wants to encourage his followers through love. And through that is through the relationship with his kids, how much he loves his kids, and then through his faith as well. And some of the tactical executions that we've been doing for that are daily devotional video reels, daddy-daughter dates, etc. So this is how you would take the strategy pillars that I say are your guardrails, and you would turn them into tactical executions. So if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to put them in the comments. Like, I'm happy to be here to help you with that. This is what I do. This is what I love. I'm very passionate about a good strategy. I've just been in a lot of situations where when you run into a dead end, this is what you fall back on. And it helps get you through it. It helps you decide and plan, and it helps you have a plan so you don't fail. So champions, I hope you learned something today. If you liked it, there's a whole lot more of this that we offer in our online virtual community called Champions Court. Make sure you check it out. There's a link below for you to sign up if you're interested. We do marketing masterminds once a month. We do promo masterminds where Kiko comes on and talks about promos and has group sessions. We do match critiques, and we do video productions. If you want to make a really pretty video like this, we teach wrestlers how to make some high quality videos. So this is one little small snippet of what we offer. We hope you'll check it out. And until next time, go make a difference. Go mad. See y'all.